Stratford End faithful, here we are. Welcome back. Me, your host, Sashin Johnson, for those who are new and who do not know me. And welcome to this wonderful community that we have. But this is your match preview to the game against Crystal Palace, but also some transfer news for you in today's show. Later on, Ralph Ragnick will be giving his press conference, his final press conference as Manchester United interim manager. I'll be bringing you those quotes as well later on today. But before we get into the match preview, which is the real reason why we are here, let's get into the transfer news. Not much this morning. You see on the thumbnail, Nunez rejects United. Before I get into that and give my opinion on it, because honestly, I don't think that he has rejected Manchester United. But I want to speak about Dean Henderson, who's basically potentially on his way to Newcastle. Now, his 40 million value is what Manchester United are asking for him. Newcastle are saying they cannot pay that. Really? You guys can't pay 40 million for a potential number one goalkeeper for the long term? How is it that you guys don't have 40 million and you literally are the richest club in the world alongside the PSGs and the Man Cities? I think that's just an excuse to not pay Manchester United that amount of money. They want to take him on a loan for a year. Okay, cool. Guys, I'll be honest, I was never really a Dean Henderson fan. I know there were a time in, shall I say, last season, De Gea was doubted. Ole gave him a chance to be first choice, but he wasn't really a keeper that was reliable in terms of, being a number one. He had good moments, don't get me wrong. But the pressure of being a Manchester United number one is really, really high. De Gea alone got 3 Player of the Years. Yeah, it's embarrassing for a club to have a goalkeeper as a Player of the Year. Shows how hard he has to work. But it's also his quality. Now De Gea is once again our confirmed number one. And I'm sure he'll be our number one next season under 10 out. I don't think we're going to be looking to replace De Gea just because of a distribution problem, as I see everywhere else. But yeah, Dean Henderson potentially going to Newcastle. And now I want to speak about Nunez. So RBC Sports, which is basically a huge reporting company in America, has come out and said that Darwin Nunez has rejected Manchester United, wants to play in the Premier League, but also wants Champions League football, which rules out us and Newcastle, who are also fighting for his signature. Yeah, so this whole thing about Champions League football kind of gets to me, because why is that a requirement for a professional player? Why is that always a stumbling block in negotiations when it comes to certain players? Now, don't get me wrong. If you have the quality to play Champions League, for sure, you should look for a club that can offer you that. But look around the playing field. Look at your other options. So Chelsea recently signed Lukaku. I don't think they're going to be selling him this summer. I don't think so. They signed him for big money. They've got Timo Werner, who plays up front, Kai Havertz as well, who are well liked by Thomas Tuchel more than Romelu Lukaku. You move along to City, they just signed Haaland, completely out of the question. You move to Liverpool, who are also fighting. Sorry about that. You look at Darwin Nunez, Liverpool, who basically have a newly signed Luis Diaz, Jota, Firmino, Mane, Salah, not to mention a Harvey Elliott, Minamino. Quite quality forward players they have. And would someone like Darwin Nunez want to go and sit on the bench? I don't think he'll be benching Mane or Salah or even Luis Diaz. I don't think he benches Firmino or Diogo Jota up front. However, crazier things have happened. But according to the report, that is Darwin Nunez. That is what has been said. Me personally, I don't believe that Darwin Nunez rejected Manchester United. There are conversations to be had, negotiations. Ten Hag still has to speak to Darwin Nunez. I did say that Ten Hag has confirmed that he will speak to any of the signings before they come into the club. Basically meeting them and convincing them to join the club and this project. So, yes, Champions League football is a requirement for many players, but I don't think it's the be-all and end-all. I think perhaps we get Europa League by winning Crystal Palace. Perhaps he comes in and is the main man. Why not come and learn from the greatest player of all time, Cristiano Ronaldo? And I'm going to speak about that closer to the end of the video as well. So, call it what it is. Darwin Nunez rejected Manchester United and Newcastle in favour of Champions League football, wants to play Premier League. Looks like Liverpool have the clear running. If that is the case, no problem. There are other players out there who would want to come and play for Manchester United. We don't need players who are unsure, who don't want to fully commit to the new Ten Hag era and project. We need players who want to come in and want to play for the badge and want to play for the fans and want to see the club succeed alongside Ten Hag. And of course, us as Manchester United fans. Now let's get into the match preview. Crystal Palace, Selhurst Park. We know Ten Hag will be in the stadium watching the game. We know Ten Hag will be alongside his assistant in Mitchell van der Gaag. They will definitely be running rule over the squad and deciding who will be in the squad and playing. So we will definitely see perhaps a changed team. We will basically perhaps see different faces. We will see an upturn in performance. Individual performances will be better. Why? Because Ten Hag is here. Because Ten Hag will be watching the game. Certain players will play a level up to show him that they can stay at the club. To show them and Ten Hag what they mean. What they can bring to Ten Hag's project and to his team. Don't get me wrong. Crystal Palace is still a good quality team. Yes, they lost to Everton last night 3-2. But they play good football under Patrick Vieira. Wilfried Zaha, Jean-Philippe Mateta, Olise. You look at the likes of Tyreek Mitchell. You look at Mark Guehi at centre-back. Quality players who can cause trouble. And they will be playing at home, guys. Selhurst Park, it's their final home game. Manchester United is coming to town. They're going to turn up. I'm sure their fans will be expecting them to go at us. We've had such a disastrous season. I'm sure Crystal Palace will be licking their lips and wondering, a team with nothing to play for, coming to us, let's go at them. We have to be ready. We have to be committed to the task. We have to show aggression. But you know what? We just need to win. That's all it is. Hands down, we just need to go out there and win. We have to have a better performance. Ten Hag being in Manchester, being in London for the game, needs to spark these players. It needs to make them want to win, want to perform. If any of the players show a lack of commitment, a lack of energy, or even a I don't care attitude, for sure that's the last game they'll be playing for Manchester United. Definitely. I don't see us actually going out there and blowing Crystal Palace away. No. But I do see us going there and actually performing well. We have to get the win. We need to be in the Europa League. I don't want to play Conference League. I certainly don't. I'd rather have no European football than Conference League, to be honest. But like I said, I'd rather have Conference League football or no European football, as long as Liverpool doesn't win the quadruple. I'm saying it flat out there. Sickening thought. But my predicted starting 11 would be this. De Gea in goal, of course, definitely. I would want to see him start. I don't think Dean Henderson needs to be given a start just because it's the last game of the season and because he's leaving. I think De Gea should still be starting. At the back, we'll probably see Maguire and Lindelof. And I say this because perhaps Varane might sit out, but if Varane does play, it will be Maguire and Varane, surely. I'm sure they will allow Maguire to captain the team for one last game. I'm sure about that. Luke Shaw was back in training, but I don't think he'll be starting. I think Alex Telles would start ahead of him. So it's Alex Telles, Maguire, Varane. And on the right-hand side, now this is where it gets interesting. So Diogo Dalot was told by Ten Hag that he will be part of his plans for next season. So I do believe Wan-Bissaka would come in and play this game against Crystal Palace. He is better defensively, but I think because it is the final game of the season, because Dalot already knows that his place is secured for next season. Well, not a secured place, but a place for him actually is there already at right back. I think Wan-Bissaka would be starting. In midfield, for me personally, I would go ahead and start Matic with Fred and Bruno. Now, yes, McTominay is there. Yes, McTominay does bring us a certain type of aggression, but we need control in midfield. And Matic brings us that control. It's his final game of the season. Why not? The last time I remember he scored a goal was the volley that he scored against Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park to win us the game. So I'm sure Matic can play alongside Fred and Bruno in midfield. And up front, I would like to see Sancho, Ronaldo, and Rashford. Yes, I say Rashford because I think that he'll probably get a run out in front of Ten Hag. I do believe that. And that is my predicted starting 11. Of course, the team will definitely not be what I called it, but that's just who I would play against Crystal Palace. Now, two things I want to speak about. One, an utter and pure disgrace that Cristiano Ronaldo was not nominated for Player of the Year in terms of the Premier League. And that is a joke. He's outscored everyone excepting Mohamed Salah. And he's 37. And he's not even nominated for Player of the Year. Utter disgrace. The FA should be ashamed of themselves. This English player bias that they have is just disgusting. Bukayo Saka was nominated for Player of the Year and hasn't even gotten near the numbers that Ronaldo has gotten. It's a pure disgrace. We as Manchester United also cancelled our end of year awards because of the disastrous season that we had. It is reported that many players felt embarrassed to even have an award ceremony because it would either be Ronaldo or De Gea who would win Player of the Year, Players Player of the Year, Fans Player of the Year. What awards could they even give out? So on the one hand, good that it was cancelled, but also bad and embarrassing at that same time. But we look ahead to Crystal Palace. We look ahead to try and get the win. We will be seeing images of Ten Hag arriving at the stadium, being in the stadium. And that's going to be exciting. That's something to look forward to. We have to have a better performance. We have to go out there and win. We have to do it. Simple as that. We need to perform and win. No excuses. It was a disastrous season, but let's at least go and end it with a win. Thank you guys for joining me and watching the video until the end. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, go and watch the previous videos as well. And of course, links to our various socials in the description below. That is it, me, Sashin Johnson, from the Stretford Inn. Till we speak again soon, Red Devils. Bye-bye.